Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Church Production. My name is JR Benton, and today in 2024, we see that almost every church is doing some sort of video production or live stream. Yet it also seems that many churches are struggling to do this well, whether that's due to overall production quality, staffing, or even training resources. However, PTZ cameras have proven themselves as a great option to solve these problems while achieving a high quality broadcast at an affordable price point. Not only has their image quality improved over the last few years, but you can actually control multiple cameras at the same time with just a single volunteer operator. Now, Panasonic is really at the forefront of this category with their AW-UE80 PTZ camera. And to tell you more about it, let's hear from Alec Fortner, the technical director over at Cross Church in Fayetteville, Arkansas. But first, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video and subscribe to the Church Production YouTube channel.
Hi, I'm Alec Fortner. I'm the technical director at Cross Church in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Our team loved having these cameras. We put them in one of our newer broadcast venues with only 3 camera shots, and adding these 2 cameras opened up an unlimited realm of possibility for them. I think it would be a great addition to any worship venue.
Over at Cross Church, I love to hear how Alec was able to integrate this Panasonic UE80 PTZ right alongside their traditional broadcast cameras. I mean, it truly just speaks to how good the image quality has come from a PTZ camera, and one of the biggest strengths for the PTZ is just the world of flexibility that it unlocks by being able to place them strategically where you couldn't place a broadcast or cinema camera and an operator. The amount of ground that you can cover with these cameras is pretty insane. So let's hear more of how Alec and his team utilized Panasonic UE80 in their church services.
Cross Church is a multi-site church with 3 campuses across Northwest Arkansas. We have more modern worship than traditional, band-led and very production-driven. We had a chance to evaluate the AW-UE80 PTZ camera from Panasonic. It's a great little camera. It's small form factor. It's a 4K 60p capable, NDI, SDI, and HDMI outputs. We used this camera in our college worship space in the evenings. There was no light in there. It's very dim, very modern lighting for college kids, and it did great in low light. It's got a great white balance. It's got a great gain structure in it. Used it a little bit for congregation shots. We used it for wide shots of the front of the stage. We set the other camera on a stand right beside the wall, and we used it for our baptism shot because our baptistry is over on the side. Our manned cameras couldn't zoom out far enough to get a good shot because they're too close. We had this one maybe 4 feet from the baptistry, and we're able to get a really good shot because of the 24 times zoom on it. It kept right up there with our broadcast cameras, and both our team and our leadership team were like, yeah, it looks great, and we love the shots.
When it comes to running a fully fledged broadcast or live stream, not only is your shot composition important, where you decide to place your cameras, your framing, exposure, your lighting, and your color, but what's equally as important is how you can then control those cameras. Now, Panasonic has tried to give us everything in the way of a great web interface for controlling the camera, as well as their very own AW-RP150 controller, which allows for even finer control and a smoother operating experience. This isn't your typical older style of shading or control panel. With this panel, you can seamlessly shade your cameras for color and exposure. You can also recall pan, tilt, and zoom presets, and even monitor your cameras via the built-in touchscreen, all without having to move or touch another piece of gear. There's some serious horsepower in this controller. Now, in the past with PTZs, getting the camera to have both a smooth start and stop was a really difficult thing to do. But Panasonic has come up with a great system that not only overcomes this challenge, but it actually looks as if it's a manned camera on a high-end fluid head tripod. And this comes down to the new direct drive motor system that was developed just for this line of PTZs. Combine this with a wide field of view of the camera, and you've got both a quiet and a really powerful camera package.
The Panasonics were operated by volunteers every week. They sat down and they loved the controller. It was easy for them. The joysticks were well labeled, and it was easy for them to understand how to switch between cameras, how to set up the presets and fire them, to change focus, to zoom and move the shots. They really liked it. They used it a couple weeks with the web interface. We could adjust the cameras like white balance and zoom and focus and all that from the web interface instead of having to walk back to the controller. And I think that was a really helpful thing for us in the house of worship specifically, because then you could pull that up from anywhere and you don't have to go back to your control room. You could be on stage with your laptop, set the camera somewhere and test the shot out and see, do you like it?
Now, when you begin to look at adding additional cameras to any venue, there can be a lot that goes into it. You got to first run power to the camera. You've got to run an SDI or an HDMI line from the camera to your switcher. You can then run a return feed or a network cable for control of the camera. But Panasonic has made setting up this PTZ camera extremely easy. In fact, if you have an existing NDI network, you can actually just run a single Cat6 network cable that will supply power, data, and control of the camera, all from a single cable. The bottom line, these cameras are easy to install and volunteer friendly to operate, all within a small footprint. So let's hear Alec's recommendation on the Panasonic PTZ platform as a whole.
We were really surprised by how small it was. We were expecting a much bigger camera, but that actually helped us because we were able to put this camera on a tripod with our other manned cameras and it not be in the way. And it made a huge difference. Our volunteers loved it, the ministry staff loved it, and our media team loved them because they looked good and set right there with our broadcast cameras. I think PTZs are attractive to churches because it allows us to have one operator run multiple cameras and still have high quality images. I think the Panasonic UE80 really showed that. We were able to use 2 cameras with one operator in one of our venues. It was easy for our operator to use and super helpful to have more than one camera shot. I would say that the Panasonic UE80 would be great for a wide distance shot, an up close shot. I mean, you're looking just for something to capture just a basic sermon from the back of the room, or you're looking to get an up close tight shot on a drum or anything in between. They're high quality, easy to use, and really Panasonic's just a good, solid company to get your cameras from.
Well, that's a wrap on this one, folks. We want to first just give a big thank you to Panasonic, as well as Alec Fortner over at Cross Church in Fayetteville for giving us his thoughts and takeaways on the UE80 PTZ and RP150 controller. So be sure to give this video a like, comment down below, and let us know what you thought about the equipment we discussed. And feel free to subscribe to the Church Production YouTube channel, as well as check out churchproduction.com for all new articles, insights, and resources to help you in your production ministry. Grace and peace, you guys. We'll see you in the next one.